Tonight,
You can take the boy out of Nebraska, but you can't take Nebraska out of the boy.
making it in Hollywood.
And there's a huge population of Nebraska people.
Meet those who are chasing a dream.
Where this place is a beast.
What advice can be shared?
Patience.
For the next half hour,
Dreams do come true. We're proof of it.
Nebraska and Hollywood collide.
Leave it all on the field.
A WOWT 6 News special, Homegrown. Here now, Brian Mastry.
Good evening. I'm Brian Mastry, coming to you from Southern California tonight. As we grow up, we're often told to dream big. And for many people, that definition is making it here in Hollywood. Tonight, we'll talk to some Nebraskans who now call Los Angeles home. Is there a secret to their success? On a Tuesday night, friendly banter
I feel like we're about to get hustled.
sounds like a conversation at any metro bowling alley.
You want to knock over the pins?
A place where the winner gets bragging rights and a Creighton Blue Jay souvenir.
I'm serious. Whoever has top score gets the bobblehead if they want it. Can I get some? Some up top? A little up top action?
They all have two things in common.
It's just a strong network of professionals on many levels.
They went to the same high school and now work in the same industry, in the same town.
We don't have titles per se, but I would, if you were using I'm the leader of the group. I'm one of the guys who founded the group. Good job, Tom.
It's called Hollywood Prep. Their careers center on Hollywood, the entertainment industry. It's where they live and where they are bowling tonight, downtown Los Angeles. The prep comes from where they grew up, Creighton Prep in Omaha. Bob Wiltfong, class of '88.
These are brand new to the wardrobe.
They debuted the shirts for our camera.
This is my high school pep rally character name, Crazy Bob. And '88 is the year I graduated from prep. So you do the math, you figure out how old I am.
Bob Wiltfong didn't go straight to Hollywood after graduating. He began a career in local TV news and gave it up to do comedy.
6 months after 9/11, I decided to quit TV news, take the leap, and pursue the dream of acting in comedy, which is basically unemployment. Let's be honest. It's basically unemployment, interrupted periodically by jobs. So I did that in 2002, got fortunate to hit some credits that kind of made me in the comedy world. And the work is awesome. The hustle is the hard part with this job. Big credits people know me from is I did some bits on the Chappelle Show, which then helped lead to a year as a correspondent on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
When your home, auto, and life insurance...
And then the other big credit that people recognize me from periodically, less so now, is as the world's greatest spokesperson in the world for Nationwide Insurance and TV commercials.
I might be one of the oldest members of Hollywood Prep.
Frank Meerwald graduated from Creighton Prep in 1968.
Hollywood Prep seems to have gotten me, back in contact with a lot of people from Prep.
Hey! Oh!
When I was at Prep, I thought I wanted to be an actor.
Here he is during a Prep production of A Christmas Carol, aired live on WOWT in 1965.
I did get to point in A Christmas Carol.
His post-production TV credits range from Benson to 2.5 Men to this new series on Amazon, Just Add Magic.
This cookbook is at least 500 years old.
Basically handle everything after it leaves the stage, it comes to me.
Even though he's behind the camera, Frank Meerwald found his sweet spot.
The deal is I love what I do. That's the most important thing. That's why I put in these hours.
So I could have put up the kid bumpers on any of us. And I almost did it. Just to be a goof.
To me, right now, it feels like you kind of have to be, a jack of all trades, master of none. You got to have your hand in everything. Just because it seems like there's no more specialists anymore.
Timmy Tamasia graduated from Prep in 1995. He went to Marquette University, then New York and Chicago, before becoming an improv teacher in Santa Monica, California. He's quick to point out he's a much better writer and actor than bowler.
I think there's a misconception about what success is in the entertainment business, and if you're not in movie theaters or some YouTube star, then you may not be successful, or on Broadway. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about what I've done.
Class of 1996, Hollywood. And we're still going strong. This is an incredible group of people out here. Probably about 30 of us that get together. I had worked at Warner Brothers for a decade without knowing this group. And so when I heard about the group, I was really excited that there's some guys from Omaha that work in the entertainment business, and not just a few guys. It became a group of 30 guys now at this point that all do something creative in entertainment, all from Crate and Prep.
Once in Hollywood, Sean Cawley quickly realized that he has to feed his creative side and pay the bills.
Real estate working okay for you? Is that your main income?
The two don't always go together.
When I first got to Los Angeles, I thought I'd be working in one specific place. And I found over time that you actually have to wear many different hats to find a way to make your creative dreams come alive. So for me, it's music, screenwriting, and making films, in addition to selling real estate. So you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that to make things happen. You think it's everyone's got it made. You've come out to Los Angeles and you're making movies or making entertainment, you're working with celebrities. It's very sexy. And truthfully, it is a sexy business to be involved in, but at the end of the day, I think you really have got to be somebody who's just going to be pushing and pushing to do more and more.
I do shows at the Groundlings in Los Angeles.
Scott Biener graduated from prep in 1991. He came to Hollywood 9 years later.
I think there's people that are quick enough in real life that they sort of get their yayas just making people laugh in life. And so they don't have the impulse to get up on stage and do improv comedy. And then I think there's people that often in life feel like, I could have said that if I would, darn it. And so they're all pent up and they're dying to get on stage and do improv. And I'm probably one of those people more than the guy that says funny stuff in real life all the time.
What should I do? Start looking like a rocker. Okay, all right, give me a chance, guys. This can't be my last night in the band.
Along the way, he's acted in a number of TV shows and commercials.
With commercials, it's sometimes you don't hear people say like, oh, brilliant work, but I mean, everyone knows, hey, it's a paycheck, you got a job. That's the name of the game.
We asked, any advice to pass along to future graduates?
Don't do it if you aren't dying to do it, because it's hard. But I remember when I was high school age, asking my dad if he thought it was possible to make a living as an actor. And I remember he said he thought it seemed like the kind of thing where you needed to be willing to be poor for a long time. And you do. but doing it, having pursued it this long, I can tell you, just don't quit, because everybody quits. And if everybody quits and you don't quit, eventually you get the job. I mean, I've gotten some jobs, and sometimes that's why. It's because, you're still here.
Look at this guy!
Hollywood Prep. At the very least, it's a comfortable sounding board for those who ventured 1,500 miles from home to pursue a dream.
Well, you never make it. That's just it. You never fully make it because you always want more. I think if you are out here as an entrepreneur in Los Angeles, you're always striving for more. And I got to tell you, this is exactly why this group exists, because we're all pushing each other to just be our very best.
Yes and no, I've made it. Yes, I've hit with some credits that most people would say, okay, you made it. Like, I became a known quantity in Hollywood to a certain degree. I have a brand. I got paid enough that I made a living for a while as just nothing more than an actor. And as an actor, that is success. So I've had that twice in my career. Most people are lucky to get once. That's how hard it is. So yes, I've made it in a way, but on the other hand, I haven't made it because I just took a job as a barista at Starbucks, Brian. That's where I'm at. So, I'm just trying to make ends meet. I am trying to position myself so I don't have to take the bobblehead home.
And he didn't.
Game face for Biener.
Scott Biener took home the Blue Jay, another piece of Nebraska living in Hollywood. Coming up, how working in Hollywood doesn't necessarily mean you have to live here.
There's two misconceptions that I always tell people when I talk to them.
Plus, an Omaha man who spent a lot of time in the living rooms of college football fans this season.
Hello, America. Larry Culpepper.
How a West Side graduate's first name
I was the worst waitress ever.
played a role in landing a weekly TV show.
A friend from Nebraska told me about it.
And an inside look at one group helping generations of Nebraskans get a foot in the door of Hollywood. When Homegrown, a WOWT 6 News special, returns.